We use RxJS observables a lot, especially in Angular applications. And built-in browser Promise API is widely used across all web applications also. What is the difference between these two? Why do we need observable? Hello everyone, welcome to Full Stack JavaScript channel. Let's start with a basic comparison. In this example, we are creating an observable which emits a value after 100 milliseconds and also a promise which is resolved after 100 milliseconds. For an observable, we do a subscribe, and for a promise, we do a then function. And both values are displayed. So there is no difference in this scenario. Let's see this in action. Here we can see both observable and promise is getting created. And with the set timeout, we are adding a delay of 100 milliseconds for the message to be emitted. And both observable and promise messages are displayed on console. Let's take next example. Here we are creating an observable, but we are emitting two values in a different interval. One after 100 milliseconds, the second one after 200 milliseconds. Similar way, we are trying to resolve a promise two times, one after 100 milliseconds and another after 200 milliseconds. And we will listen to the messages using subscribe and then. Here also, first message is coming for both observable and promise. But the second message is coming only for observable. That is because observable can emit multiple values over a period of time, but promise can emit only a single value at a time. You can see the same in action, creating both observable and promise, each having two set timeouts. But if you look at the console, only observable shows two messages. Let's see how we can make an API call and get the response using RxJS and normal fetch API. From fetch is a method from RxJS which returns an observable. Fetch returns a response and response.json method returns another promise. So now the observable needs to switch to that. So we are using the switch map operator. And finally we are getting the value using subscribe. Fetch is a browser API which returns promise. In the then we are returning the return value of response.json which is another promise, and we do then again and finally having the response. What if we want to modify the data? In RxJS we will use another operator called map. And in fetch we can simply return the data and we can chain using the then. In this case, we are just returning the first three items from the array. Another way to make API call in RxJS is using the Ajax method. RxJS can create an observable from promise also. So we can basically wrap this fetch API call in a method, and we can call the same in both the RxJS and the normal fetch also. So which will basically avoid the repetition. So for that we can use a from operator. So we can pass any values to the from, and using that an observable will be created. In this case, this method will return promise from the fetch API, and using that then finally we'll continue with the observables. Another main difference between observable and promise is the lazy behavior of observable. An observable will not be executed unless there is a subscription available. In this case, let's take an example. We'll use the built-in Ajax method itself so that it will directly give an observable. And we'll use a tap operator. Tap operator is used to see just console or any side effect without impacting the remaining operators. So we'll just use tap to console to show that whether it is executed or not. If the previous observable is executed, then the tap will be executed because that is the first operator. Now you can see that currently in the console we can see after the API call message is being displayed. The moment I commented the subscribe, now it is not showing because none of these methods are getting executed, but only if you subscribe then the original function will get executed. That is not the case with promise. The promise is getting executed in the first itself, whether if there is no then also still the promise will get executed. It is not dependent on the remaining then functions. So it's not a lazy evaluation, but observable is a lazy evaluation. Even after removing all the remaining thens, still the execution is happening and the console log is showing up in the promise.